Okay, so we're going to step forward, sanitize. We will then set up the bed for our client. Set down one of your towels lengthwise. I don't have enough space here, but when you go test, there should be enough space for you to open that up a little bit more. You're going to roll up your next towel to make a little bit elevated area for your client. Set her headband down and put your client right in the middle. Make sure that it's nice and snug and pulled down to expose more of her forehead. And the last towel, open it up away from your client into that nice V, and we're going to put that over the décolleté. Okay, once you have her set up, make sure you sanitize before you touch any of the other things. Right here, I'm opening up my cotton rounds and my 4x4s, throwing the bag away and sanitizing. I actually moved my sanitizer because I didn't want to have to reach over my client to sanitize. I'm grabbing 3 cotton rounds and my cleanser, and I'm going away from my client and applying it to the 3 cotton rounds, making sure that I close the bottle. I'm going to brace her eye and set down the first cotton round. I will brace the second eye and place that right over. And with my 3rd cotton round, I'm going to brace her lips and begin to remove her lipstick, lip gloss, whatever she was wearing. I'm going to throw that away and sanitize. I'm going to go back to my eyes and cleanse the eyes. Throw that away and sanitize. Do the other eye. Throw that away and sanitize. Okay, so we're going to reach for our cleanser. Dispense that into our hand. Make sure that the tip of the cleanser does not touch your hand. You're going to brace and apply your cleanser. Once you have it applied evenly on the face, you're going to go straight into cleansing of the face. So here I'm finishing up the cleansing of the face. I'm going to lift off at the temples, grab my hand sanitizer, and reach for my 4x4s. I'm going to use 2 and begin to remove the cleanser. First I brace, and then I go straight into the removal. Once I've got it removed, I lift off at the temples, throw those away, and sanitize. Next up is our exfoliant. I'm going to grab a little bit on my hand, brace, and apply my exfoliant. Once I have that spread evenly, I will grab my exfoliating brush. This is me mimicking grabbing a paper towel, throwing that away, and sanitizing. Here's my brush. I'm going to do small circular motions all the way around the face. I'll do this about 2 to 3 times. Working slowly in those small circular motions. Once I've finished, I'm going to get to a temple. And when I get to the temple, I'm going to make sure that I lift off at that temple, throw that into items to be disinfected, and sanitize. I will grab those 2 products, the cleanser and the exfoliant, put them into items to be disinfected and sanitize. Here I'm reaching for my steam towel. I'm going to pull that up, wring out my towel, close my Tupperware container, and move off to the side away from my client. Open up my towel, and I'm going to test my towel. This has to be done 3 times, so there's 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to gather my towel so that it doesn't dangle above my client. Place it right below their chin into that crisscross pattern, exposing their nose and their mouth completely. We do not want to cover any of that. Go ahead and push, push, and then you're going to start at the forehead, and we're going to remove that cleanser. You will have to make sure that you remove the cleanser completely, so take your time with this. And once you're done, go ahead and look over your client's face. Make sure that you've got all that exfoliant off. Throw your towel into soiled linens and your Tupperware into items to be disinfected and sanitized. Next up, I'm going to grab 2 cotton rounds and my toner away from my client, and I'm going to brace and tone my client's face. Lift off at the temples, throw that into the trash, and sanitize. Now I'm grabbing my massage, and I'm going to dispense. Begin with my product spread. Don't forget to brace. Once I've had my product spread on her face, I'm going to go straight into the massage. You have to show 4 movements for this part. So you will do effleurage, petrissage, tapotement, friction, and you will always end with effleurage. So here I am showing effleurage. I do this about 2 to 3 times around the face. For the sake of time, I don't believe I did that. I only went about twice. Then I go straight into petrissage, so my little pinching movements. Then I go straight into tapotement, avoiding the eyes and the nose and the mouth, so just staying on the outer parts. And then once I do tapotement, I'm going to go into friction. I apologize if the video is not closer. Okay, and then I'm going back into effleurage. And this one might be a little bit quicker than the 2 to 3 times. Once I finish with my effleurage, I'm going to slow my movements down and go down the side of the temples and lift off. I'm going to reach for my 4x4s, brace my client, and begin to remove that. Once I've got it removed, I will end up at the temples, throw my 4x4s in the trash, and sanitize. This is my mask. I open my mask away from my client and dispense it into my little bowl that's sitting right next to it. Throw my items to be disinfected and my trash away. Sanitize. Grabbing my bowl with my fan brush, and I'm just going to kind of smear that around, brace my client, and apply my mask. I work my way around the face, making sure that it's going to look nice and even. Don't forget the upper lip. Of course, you're going to avoid the eyes and the actual lips. Lift off at the temples. Throw that into items to be disinfected and sanitize. I then grab another pair of 4x4s, brace my client, and begin to remove the mask. This might take you 4 4x4s, so the first 2 just try to get the bulk of the mask off. Lift off at the temples, throw that into trash, and sanitize. Reach for another pair of 4x4s. If you need to, if you don't, that's okay. And just make sure you get any excess, and I'm kind of getting into those small little nooks and crannies. Look over my client's chin to make sure there's none left there. Lift off at the temples, throw that away, and sanitize. This is my toner with my cotton rounds. Dispense that. brace my client and tone my client's face. Stop at the temples, grab my bowl and my other toner, throw those into items to be disinfected, and sanitize. Lastly, it's my moisturizer / SPF. I'm going to brace my client and apply the SPF evenly all over her face. Once I finish that, I will be reaching for my moisturizer container and put that into items to be disinfected. I sanitize in between, it looks like. So grabbing my items that were left, sanitize one more time, and step back.